Hey friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to do one of those videos that I've been doing throughout last year. I haven't done one yet this year, and that is reviewing old book hauls to see if I've been reading the books that I've been hauling, just to kind of keep me accountable. So let's go ahead and watch I think this is, I started off numbering my book hauls, but then I stopped doing that, so I don't know what number this is, but let's go ahead and play the video and see what I hauled. This one I found at the thrift store. Yes, this is Brizinger. This is book 3 in the, I don't remember what the series is called, but it starts with Errand. It's a very, very, very popular book for middle graders when they were, when I was a middle grader. So people in my age bracket was super popular then. Not for me, but it was for the general public, I guess. I read the first 2 books as an adult, and they were fine, I guess. And then I tried Brizinger, and I wasn't there for it anymore. So I ended up unhauling the entire series that I had collected because it wasn't a series for me, I guess. Just a couple days ago, I was at the thrift store, and they were having a pretty big sale on books, and I found, weirdly enough, all of them except Brizinger. So it worked out really good. So, and then there's the rest of the series that I have now unhauled. Secret Keepers by Trenton Lee Stewart. Yes, wait, have I? Yes, I have read Secret Keepers. I did read that one. I do forget a lot about it. I have kept it. It is a middle grade as well. So I may have to revisit that one at some point because I do forget all of it basically. But I did read it, so. This one, Dream Thief by Stephen R. Lawhead. I believe Stephen R. Lawhead is a Christian author. No, I have not read Dream Thief yet by Stephen Lawhead. It's always one that I want to read, but for whatever reason, it's never next up, I don't know why. Do you guys have any books like that where that you're really interested in it, that you maybe like that author or that premise or whatever, but for whatever reason, you just haven't read it yet? This is that book for me. I really think I'll love it. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. This one. Okay, I haven't read this one, and honestly, I didn't have too much interest in reading this one until I saw this cover. This is a collector's edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I do still have that edition, and I have collected other editions of Pride and Prejudice. A lot of you will probably be upset at me to hear that I actually DNF'd Pride and Prejudice. I thought it was slow, boring. Which is weird because I really love the movie with Keira Knightley. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. So I don't know why the book didn't hit the same for me. I'm not sure. But I do still have that copy and a few other vintage editions. So yes. Against All Odds by Irene Hannon. I have not read Against All Odds. I've only read Irene Hannon for the first time this year, but it was not this book, but I do still own it, so at some point I'll get to it, I'm sure. And then, I don't have it with me right now, but it's called The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury, I think. I got this one from my cousin Melissa, but I did read this one. I do have it now because she gave it to me. It is in my Christmas book collection. It wasn't a favorite of mine, I would say, but it is quite heavily romance. It's Christian romance, but it is quite, romance heavy, and I tend to avoid those ones. So I liked it, and if you like romance, you'll probably love it, because it is, I don't know, it hits all the points that a good romance would hit, You'll probably like it. This is House by Frank Peretti and Ted Dekker. I have read House by Ted Dekker and Frank Peretti. I do like it. I know some of my friends have recently read it and not liked it. It does make sense because not Frank Peretti, more so Ted Dekker, his books are very weird, and I would caution that a lot of Christians might think that it crosses the line, and in one book in particular I think that it does kind of cross the line, but this book I liked. It was very psychological, and Ted Dekker really likes to work psychological, so the tamed down aspect of this book is the Frank Peretti side, but I liked this book. So this one has a little bit of a backstory. This is Walt Disney's The Sword in the Stone. Okay, so Sword in the Stone. I have read The Sword in the Stone, the original one. The edition I'm showing you here is a Disney-ified version of the story. It's basically the movie put into a book, the Disney movie, and the book that I read was the original T.H. White Sword in the Stone, and I loved it. I don't think I will bother actually reading this Disney version because I've seen the movie, I like the movie, but now I've read the original. I don't really need to read the movie now, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I really like Sword in the Stone, and I still have this copy. So this one, The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This one, I did try The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is a secular fantasy, I believe. I bought it from the Dollar Tree, if I remember. So it was really, really cheap. It wasn't a huge risk. But I have DNF'd it because of language, I believe. So, and unhauled it. Normally, if I DNF a book, which means did not finish, normally if I DNF a book, I will unhaul it because there's only certain reasons why I would keep a book that I have DNF'd, and that doesn't happen very often. So I'll just get rid of the boring one because it's not a fiction book. This is the Pocket Oxford Italian Dictionary. I do still have this Italian dictionary because I am still trying to learn Italian. So this one, look at this, Jean Valjean. Yes, Jean Valjean. I don't know if I've actually reread Jean Valjean. So if you don't know, Jean Valjean is a severely condensed version of Les Mis, and actually I would say it's not only condensed, but there's a lot in Les Miserables that Jean Valjean does not address. So there are many other storylines in Les Mis that Jean Valjean does not include. So, but also, it is also abridged. I read this book in high school, and so when I saw the Jean Valjean version, the really small version, I really wanted it because it just was very nostalgic for me. So yeah, I don't think I've reread Jean Valjean, but I have read Les Mis, so I think that counts since Les Mis is like hundreds of pages longer than Jean Valjean and the original source material. So this one, Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. I have not read Fool's Errand yet because I'm still stuck on Golden Fool in the series, and it's been so many years already since I originally started The Assassin's Apprentice, which starts off the entire mega series. It's been at least 2.5, 3 years since I've read anything from that world. So I'm really considering just starting from the beginning again. It's not that I don't really remember, but it would be nice to have a refresher before I go into it. Plus, I haven't been able to find Golden Fool yet on audiobook anywhere for free, so I kind of don't really want to start the reread until I know for sure I have Golden Fool, because I don't want this to happen again where I can't continue the series. So I have not read Fool's Errand yet, but from what I have read of the series, I love it. I do not like I tried Ship of Magic, which is one of the trilogies within the series. I DNF that one for reasons, but when it follows Fitzchivalry, I love all of those. Ted Dekker 3. I have read 3. It is a good one. I do remember it. I have learned that there is a movie, but I'm having a hard time getting my hands on the movie to watch it. I would really like to watch it. But yeah, I have read 3, and if you like Ted Dekker type thriller books, I would suggest it, but only if you like that kind of thing. Very psychological again. This one, I think I think I basically got this one because I needed another one to get the deal or something. This is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I have read A Wrinkle in Time. I did not read it as a kid like so many of you guys did, but I did read it as an adult. I liked it. I watched the movie afterward. Yeah, I still have that edition, so we're all good there. So, Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott O'Dell. Guys, I've been looking for this one probably for like since I started Booktube. Island of the Blue Dolphins I have reread. Originally I read it as a kid in school, but I have since read it as an adult as well. So yep, that one is actually on my favorite shelf for middle grade books. Hatchet by Gary Paulson. Yes, I have read Hatchet as well. Again, that was one that I read in school and then read it again as an adult, and I really like that one as well. We've got Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. Fortunately the Milk, yes. I heard of this one originally from Chantel, and this is such a fun little book. It's super quick, it's super silly, but is really, really fun. So Fortunately the Milk, yes, and it is also on my favorite shelf for middle grade. This one, Beyond the Shadows by Brent Weeks. I have not read Beyond the Shadows yet. That one is part of a trilogy by Brent Weeks. But my husband chose, in the video that I did, 23 books to read in 2023, he chose for me to start that series. So, providing I like the first book, I will get to this one eventually, but I have not read it yet. Lastly, Zoo by James Patterson. I have not read this one. I believe I DNF'd this one because of language as well. The original reason that I picked up this book was because I really like the TV show. So I still like the TV show, but I DNF'd the book and I've unhauled it. And that is it for this check-in, I guess. This book haul check-in, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did pretty well. Most of the books I had read or tried or still really plan to get to. Yeah, I don't think there were any that really, I mean, Against All Odds is probably the one that interests me the least, but I'll keep it on my shelf just in case it ever piques my interest and I have it then. So yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. I hope to hear from you in the comments below, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye!